All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in to this daily horoscope. My name is Athen, and this is for September 26th and 27th, Friday and Saturday. Okay, so we've got the moon now in Libra for these 2 days, and this is coming out of that new moon in Virgo. So this is the first phase. It's a crescent phase. We're becoming familiar with the energy. We're approaching that eclipse in Pisces. But right now, we're just working with it. We're working with the energies. We're becoming familiar with Virgo. And Libra coming out of Virgo is really, gives us a really, clear sense of positive and negative. It's really like a strong discernment. And we've had Mercury in there now for a little bit, and the moon's going to go over Mercury. So I really feel on Friday just having a strong awareness of a discernment between positive and negative. Coming from the middle ground, from the neutral ground. And anything we do in terms of this on Friday would be beneficial, legal matters, that sort of thing. Or relationship related also, being able to be fair and just in relationships. Good time for relationships, I feel, over the weekend. Venus is making her way into Virgo now quite steadily. She's been in there for a while, few days, and so we're becoming familiar with that energy, which is basically grounding our relationships a little bit more too, a little bit more earthly, and improving them a little bit, thinking about them a little bit more. Virgo is thinking and analyzing just a little bit, just enough to make them a little bit better and a little bit more in alignment with what we're really about. And you've heard me talk a lot about Saturn in Libra, which is about creating balance in our lives. Well, that's definitely playing a role for these 2 days. See how we can bring more balance and harmony. But it's not just within different areas of life, it's also within specific areas of life. So look to see where there might be a little bit of an imbalance in terms of the way you see things. Perhaps money or resources or your life or your career or your family or your relationships, whatever it is. If we're not looking at it from a very neutral perspective, then something's not right. It's almost like everything in life is a coin. And it's got the heads and the tails part. And we can either focus on the positive side of it or the negative side of it. But really, if we just focus on the whole coin itself, then we remove ourselves from that cycle, from that karmic sort of relationship with things, and we can just see things for the way that they actually are. So I think for these couple days, it's a great time to just see things for the way they actually are and have that, discernment of seeing, the positive and negative, the positive and negative poles, and how to really unite them and create balance within everything in our lives. For example, if we have a negative sense of money, negative perspective, like we see it as the root of all evil or something like that. Well, money is just resources, for example. It's just the exchange of value for value. And so we can see that as a positive, we can see that negative, or we can just see it for what it actually is. And then when we free ourselves from all that, one side or the other, and another side could be seeing money as the most important thing in the world, is the beginning of everything. But it's about just seeing it for what it actually is. And when we do that, we free that part of ourselves up. In this case, the perspective we have on money, which then frees up our ability to manifest it and stuff like that. So that's the energies we're really working with. Very relationship-oriented, like I said. Commitment and responsibility in relationships. I feel understanding relationships a little bit more and working with them in that sense. All right, guys, so I'm going to draw a card and see where Spirit would like a little bit more emphasis. Okay, Cancer. Well, this part of the chart is actually squaring up to Cancer, where Jupiter's transiting at the moment. But, squares with Jupiter aren't as volcanic. They're not as hard to deal with. Jupiter being very expansive, very beneficial. I think what this is saying is there's action coming from a lot of this expansion that we've been doing in the home and family area, or that support and abundance we've been receiving in that Cancer area. And so I think what this is really saying is it's really propelling us forward now, I feel, because, this is the first part of the chart that's now coming out of the bottom hemisphere. The first to the sixth house really has to do with the inner self, and inner love. And this is now going into the outer, which is outer love. It's more social, it's more extroverted, and it's more other-oriented. So what I feel is now things are starting to move with Pluto direct and such, and we're starting to come out of a very internal phase. We're still in it because the new moon was there and the sun's there, but we're coming out of it and we're starting to become much more aware of the external aspects of this whole cycle and of our lives at the moment. So I feel this is really using the energies of the past, of the family, in order to propel us into that direction, in order to move in that direction and take action in that direction, because squares always have to do with action. So again, this card came up last time. Really connect to your feelings, connect to your past, and I think that's really forming a very strong root in the new direction that we're heading, especially with this new lunar cycle. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy, and take care. I'll see you next time.